Like, no, as I'm going through like this cycle, yeah, well, where as I'm going through the cycle where I'm trying to like pursue my dreams, where I'm pursuing my dreams, where I'm like waking up each and every day, in pursuit of my own ambitions, in pursuit of results. You know, I come to the realization that like on the path, on the journey, you know, to achieving or like on the journey to your own destination, yeah, I come to grips with reality. You understand? And I start to look at myself outside of my own body. I take my consciousness out of my own body and then I look at my situation, and what I've come to realize is this, like the one thing that stops, the one thing that hinders, me, from my own experience, is me. You understand? And that's why I got to like that's when I got to understand, like, when people say you have to focus your mind, you have to like will your mind into doing something. You will your body through your mind into doing something. Sometimes we feel lazy, sometimes you feel like, nah, it's not worth it. Sometimes you forget the reasons you do the stuff you do, you know? And on the road there, like, you will tend to forget at times, like, you have those nights where you question is it also alcohol, like, you start to think, like, why am I even doing this? Because it's very painful, because it's very hard, because it's very difficult, you know? And you start to question, like, you start, like me, yeah, well, there's some nights where I sit by myself, and I wonder, you know, I wonder whether the decisions I've taken in life so far, were the right ones. I go back into dark places, yeah, well, but I still think like I have some regrets in this life, you know. I would like to personally believe, in my own defense, in my own like way of trying to, think positive. I like to believe that whatever I did at the time, like, whatever decision I took at the time, I believed, to my core, I believed, that I made the right choice. I made the choice of not going back to school. I made the choice of going straight to work. I made the choice of whatever situation that like pushed me into doing that. I don't necessarily take it into account, yeah, because at the end of the day, situations is back on, yeah, situations back on where like we feel cornered into making a decision, yeah, but at the end of the day, the person who decided to take the decision was me, you know. So whatever the situation may be, I trust myself at the moment, in the present. If a difficult like decision had to be made, I wouldn't regret it in the future, because I know and I trust myself that like if I took that decision, then I must have seen it worthwhile, you know. Sometimes I forget if it's even worthwhile in the future. Maybe there will be times where I'm like, yeah, did I make the right decision? But I won't beat myself over. But I won't beat myself up over it, you know. But only know what I'm trying to say is that like on the road, to progression, on the road to trying to improve yourself, yeah, well, on the road and trying to improve me overall, is there's a lot of times where like you doubt yourself, because you haven't seen the results of your own efforts, There's a lot of times where you feel guilty, on the choices you've made, you know? And the only thing that's been helping me so far is like taking it one step at a time, yabo, one day at a time, yabo. Yeah, and I'm just trying to see it through. I'm just trying to see it through and see how, how long I can take it. How long I can, like, take the pain. How long I can take the difficulty. If I die, while still trying to chase it, then I died believing, believing in myself. I died believing in like something bigger than me, you know. And ekugqibeleni, yabo, ndizawufa ndizazi uba no man, ndizawufa still believing that no, yabo, I died a man. I lived a happy life. I lived a fulfilling life because I was doing things my way. Yabo. So for the time being, I'm still trying to push through, get through everything, because obstacles will like always be there. That's a given. And failure will always be there. That's just life. That's just part of us as humans. Yeah. So now the best thing is to like not wallow into like your past decisions, not go down the rabbit hole. As long as I just continue to take one step at a time, one day at a time, one achievement at a time. Hopefully, it will compound into something bigger, and then and only then can my worries like start to like settle down. So yeah, mission Joe. I ain't running it. Peace out.